Hey, hey everybody, how you doing today? It is, let's see, today it's May 24th, Memorial Day weekend. How's everybody's um, extended, well, I guess in the States, extended holiday? Um, is it any different than the regular days considering what we're dealing with right now? Mine hasn't been too, too different. Well, how about that? The dog has woke up. That's what happens when you're in Studio B right now. So if you're new here, these are community hangouts. They happen on Fridays. Actually, Saturday we have guitar talk. It's still a hangout. Sundays, and then on Mondays we do the podcast live video podcast every Monday. All of these are at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's hot today, man. I don't know how it is where you are, but it is really stinking hot here today. But that's okay. That's all right. When you're stuck inside, that's what happens. Let me go through the chat, see who we got here. Josh is here. Hey, Josh. Evan's here. What up, Evan? Dean is here. Hey, Dean. Good to see you. Let's see here. Josh and Evan are talking about, yeah, it's hot, man. And Evan's got to work on the car. I hope you can do it in the shade. You're not out in the middle of the garage. The driveway there. Chris is here. You think Leo will be in a blue shirt? He sure will. I've got a few extra shirts not blue lately. So you just wait. When I get all my stuff back, I have quite a collection of red shirts. We're gonna have a whole month of red shirts. I have a feeling. Excuse me. Let's see here. Dean got some practice in today. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I didn't get any practice in today. And let's see here. Evan says it was 90 degrees this morning. Ugh. Yep. Chris has called it. Yep. I'm gonna have to be borrowing some shirts so I can get away from these blue shirts, I guess. Okay, let's see here. Oh, the other day I had a whole new shirt to wear on the hangout, and took the dogs out. It had been raining. It just my one dog was blind. I have to carry, and just got mud all down the side of it. So I tried a little bit. What I'm really want to do is to do something about this back here. This is driving me nuts. In both places that I live stream, it's driving me crazy. I cannot wait. So we were given September, second week of September, and I'm gonna have you guys help me decorate out the new studio. And we already talked about it a little bit. Got some good ideas. Got some of the stuff from the old studio. I really like that Les Paul. It's Prince, but they were separated into three. I really like that. And I like the idea Dean had about having the logo in the background too, or some sort of Play Guitar Academy in the background too. So let's see what we got here. Just gonna check all the chat before we start listening to all the awesome submissions. I went through a lot of them this afternoon before I got everything ready for this. Josh says supposed to get some bad weather later. It's hot and then rushes in the cool air to cause some storms. So yeah, we had storms over the past 2 days. It is that time of year again. And it says no, I'll be baking in the driveway. Well, might pull up to the pop-up shelter before I get started with it. Green screen shirts. Yeah, that's right. Give me some green shirts. I've been using, tell me what the volume is on that right there. I'm using my my Tech 21 Fly Rig 5. And that's with the Plexi kind of like add-on. Gives it kind of a, you hear that? It's kind of like a snarly sound. No modeling, it's all analog. Let's see what there's the thing. Awesome. So that's what I'm dealing with now. That's my only other direct guitar processor that I've got. Coke's here. Hey, Coke. Good to see you, man. I enjoyed your video when you were doing a little practice in there. It's good to put the face and the name together there. Evan says guitar sounds fine volume-wise. Good. That's good. Dean says good. Thank you, man. Don't judge another man's tones, bro. Yeah, this thing, it basically sounds like what it's going to sound like. There's not a whole lot of adjusting to it. Got a delay on. Let me turn the delay off. Kind of hot. This should be a crunch. I guess I can get into that a little bit more later. Okay, so we're going to take a listen to all of the lick building challenge. I thought this was a fun week. I thought it was a great idea. I think we pulled it off. As far as the podcast goes, it was pretty successful. A lot of downloads for this one. We had a good amount of people join the Facebook group this week. I'm thinking it's because of the lick building challenge. So got some new people to hang out with, which was nice. So I consider this week a success. Joe's here. Hey, Joe. Good to see you. And we are going to head on over to Facebook here. We'll just listen. I won't put Facebook up on the screen there, but we can still listen. So I'm just going to go from newest. Let's go up here to the top of the group. And we're going to pick out our lick building challenge submissions here and take a listen to them. Hey, did everybody see Wes's first video today? And he did the Guns N' Roses song. Big congratulations to Wes for doing that. That's a great first step to moving forward with this. So pretty happy about that. Okay, so I'm scrolling down here. Brennan, let's play Brennan's right now. So he did his lick in E minor, and let's take a listen. Right here. Very nice vibrato type tremolo sound. So very cool, Brennan. Thanks for putting that up there. We've got he's playing over an E minor, and then to a C, to a G, to a D. So very cool. Very cool tone too. It was a clean tone with some sustain to it. I'll listen a little bit more. So I like, get my screen back here. I like the that theme going through, taking advantage of the half step on the first two notes. Be a good pedal tone, kind of a pedal tone with two notes instead of one note. So what do you guys think about that one? Chris says, cool one, Brennan, like that, with the wink and the smiley face. I like the chord progression. Yeah, very cool, man. I like the chord progression there on that one. So very nice, Brennan. Really enjoyed that one, and good use of all of the notes there, and good use of that the half step in the beginning. So, and let's see, we got that. And Chris says, cool, and Brennan. David says, very nice. Joe says, like it a lot. Josh says, sounds good. And Em says, enjoyed that one. So very cool. Thanks for that submission. Let's keep going. Let's move on to our next newest one here. This will be Josh. I think Josh is here today. And Josh, is this the same one that you sent me? This is, I think Chris put this up. I saw that you sent me one, but I didn't get to it. Let's see here. Let me turn the volume down on this just a little bit. Okay, here we go. Here's Josh. Awesome, Josh. Thank you very much, man. That was great. That was great. Let's talk a little bit about the chord progression in this. So, there's two sections to this. So we're starting with an E minor, and we're going to like a C to D, and then to a G. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm curious to see. I've got a question for everybody about this one. And then the second part was just the E, C, D, E minor, C, D, E minor, and then eventually ends up on the G. So, would you say that the key of Josh's chord progression would be in E minor? Or would it be in G major? What would you say that? I'm curious to find out. This is one of those really cool chord progressions where you could argue it both ways. I have my opinion on the way it goes. So we're starting on the E minor, and we have a space, a part of the song where we're doing, like a rock C to D to E minor in there. But when we hit this G major chord, everything kind of evens out to me. So in my opinion, let's see here. We got some coming in. So we've got Chris says G sounds like home to me, and Coke says sounded major, right? And Evan says I heard it in a major key, and Dean says G as well. So we're all in agreement. When you hit that G, it kind of, you could stop the song right there and go home, and you wouldn't even, it would feel completed, right? There's a lot of songs that do the C to D to E, and maybe for a while, if he had reversed the two parts, if we'd started off with and just did that, you could see it being an E. But the fact that we started that G major chord really puts it into G there, right? So so what would this E be? It's not the one chord, is it? G's the one chord. We're going to call that the one chord. So we've got G, and the use of the C and the D as a 4 and a 5 that goes to G, that's a pretty strong. You have the in minor, you have C, D, E, which is a very common. What's this? The minor 6 to the flat 7 to the minor 1, right? But in G, it's 4 to 5 to 1, those same two chords. So really interesting, man. Really interesting. And Josh says G is home. Right. Get to go to your home. So I like that. And let's yeah, so it's a 6 chord. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5. And if you hang on this D long enough, you can hear it right now. Right? So very cool. Very cool. I like that. Let's listen a little bit more of it again so we can pay. I was paying a lot of attention. So right there, for that lick, here I am, I'm back. And you can see that Josh is outlining the top notes of a G chord. And his bends he's bending the second. I'm wanting to put some extra notes in it. So everything that whole lick he's outlining in G. So you can see that his thinking was it was in G too. So all right, and Josh says it's a relative minor, and Dean says would it be the sixth? Yeah, it'd be the sixth chord is a minor. So it would be the sixth chord in the diatonic collection of chords for the key of G. So, and that's what I was thinking, says Evan, and Evan says lots of good energy. And that one, it was a very, very catchy one. So congratulations, I can't speak words. Congratulations, Josh. There we go. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Scrolling down a little bit. And you know what I've noticed too is the Facebook group is really, we're getting lots of different types of posts now, and lots of different people are, so I'm really happy about how the Facebook group is going. Oh yeah, and so just from like the old videos that I did on YouTube, and then from us starting this experiment right here, I got in the email I got from, what is that, vidIQ, something that I use with YouTube. We've had 15,000 views today. So the adding of all these live videos and the 3 regular videos throughout the week have really pushed this forward. So maybe one day it'll catch up to the podcast too. I hope so. Okay, so let's see here. David. Okay, I listened to this one too. Let's take a listen to David's. Is David here? Let me scroll back and see if David's here. I seen him. Very cool, David. That was awesome. So what we got here, we're doing some pull-offs on a pedal tone with the open strings. And let's make sure that those 2 notes are in. So we got a B, open string, and I think you had that also the open E ringing in there too. So let's see here. So there's our E right there, and there's our B. So those notes, they're in there. They're not exactly in this section, but the notes that you're using to very cool, very different than everybody else's. And that background to me sounds E minor too. Sounds like the note that you were pulling off the most was the 17th fret on the B string, which is an E, which matches with. Oh, was it tapping? Were you tapping instead of pulling off? Were you using this your fretting, your picking hand or your fretting hand to do the tapping? Let me know about that. Okay. I'm gonna go back here. Chris says, awesome, well done, Lee. Thank you, man. Thank you. We're slowly getting it done. And Dean says, it's so much fun to start to be able to understand it. That's right, man. That's very true. Very true. And everybody says, nice one, David. Cool stuff, David. Nice one. Was tap, pull off. Okay. And Joe says, good one, brother. Josh says, good one. Dean, neat idea, too. Well, let's see. Let me go back. Did I miss something from Dean? Oh, no, I don't think so. Okay. And Mike's here. Hey, Mike. Good to see you. And David says it was mainly pull off. Okay, cool. Great idea though, man. And very in the style of Joe Satriani too. So your influences are showing. So that's great, man. So very cool. Let's move on to some more. So I'm just going down I'm going down here. Here's Evan. So Evan says, here's some licks for the challenge. Open to any and all critique. Drive. I'm gonna play the lick in D Mixolydian MP3. I'm gonna play that one. Very nice as like an intro before the chords start. And using that half step to the D is a good theme. And good repetition makes it a very strong melody. That was nice. Very cool, Evan. Thank you for that. I think there's some more here too. Let me see here. This one is licking D Mixolydian. Let's take a look at this next one. This one is licking E minor. Let's take a listen to that. Back to the beginning again. Get this. Some sequence stuff in there. Very nice. And taking the time for this. And ending off with the half step right there. Very cool, Evan. Very cool. Two really nice melodies. Let's check the third one out here. Okay, so this one is a lick in G major. This one's gonna be a little different. Now here's what I like, and I like the fact that the notes that when he went to the E minor, he did a big interval jump up to the B, which is the fifth of the E minor chord. So he's using big distances, big intervals in between the two, and he's thinking ahead, at least I think he's thinking ahead, of the chord that's coming up and what note would match with the chord. If he's not thinking about it, his ear is catching it. So very cool. All three of those were really nice. What do you guys think about that? Let's see here. He says, oh, you picked the one that people like least. I played them all, man. I played all of them. Cool backing. Chris says, Josh says, sounds good. Joe says, cool one, Evan, man. And Evan says, oops, we'll get them all, I guess. That's right. Coke says, what a riff challenge would sound like from everyone. Yeah, a riff challenge. And I'm thinking if we do like this again, like a lead challenge, we could come at it from a different direction, and I could give just a chord progression, and just it just has to be over a chord progression, not like we did this time with just a group of notes. We can go back and forth for those too. And then Josh says it would sound like smoke on the water coat. That's all. Yeah. Evan says thanks. Man, you're welcome. Very good. And they love the second one. I like how it pulled up that chord with the big interval jump. Yeah, that's what stuck out to me too. That's the one that really caught my ear. Coke says I plugged in a metal pedal I have today, and of course had to see what smoke sounded like. That's right. And Josh says sounds great. I think I like the third one the best. Cool. Very cool. Thanks, Evan. Those are great. Those are great submissions. All right, let's move on down here. And there's Coke. That was the jam that I talked about before. You guys have a minute or two to go check that out on the group page. I highly suggest you do. It was very cool. And Kevin says, I found out I could share the lick with this backing track as long as it had to exhibit your personal music skills in a non-commercial recorded video or audio performance posted online. Right. So that wasn't the problem with that for me. You putting it up there is fine from what I understand. My problem was I was going to play it on the podcast, and at that point I can't use that. So that's the thing. But if anybody wants to go and check out Kevin's lick, it's on the podcast as well. I mean, it's on the Facebook page as well. Okay, so here's Joe. Joe says, my attempt on the lick challenge, a lot of work to do, having a lot of fun. That's the most important thing. So let's take a listen to Joe's lick. Very cool. I'm going to listen to that again. Awesome, Joe. Thank you, man. That was really cool. What stuck out to me was your vibrato. Really nice vibrato. Which, when you have a tone like that that's got a lot of sustain to it, the vibrato is really important to give it some movement. So very nice. Work your way up to the high fret too. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Everything about that was cool. And so I'm guessing, I'm gonna listen to it again, that we're in the key of E. There we go. Actually, a lot of the landing notes were on this D. And D, if we were using this, and the E as well too. But if it was going to be a D in the key of G, we use this set of notes. That would be a Mixolydian mode there. Without having the chords under there, it can be interpreted either way. But very nice one, man. Good vibrato, good tone, nice note choices. Let's see what people are saying. Okay. Let me go back. Oh, some other stuff there too. So let's I'll go back in a minute. Let's just do the ones for Joe's lick. So Josh says, David says, very nice. Josh says, sounds good. I like the tone a lot. And Josh says, tone worked good, holding out those notes. Good job from Chris. Evan says, nice, Joe. Joe says, thanks, guys. And okay, so very good, man. I'm going to go back here and check out. There's some other stuff going on in the chat, too. Let me see this. Funny. Okay. Coke says that video that we were talking about before is a month old, literally the only other licks I've ever made besides the challenge. And Chris said, it's good to hear everyone's work, and it's good for everyone to create something. I think we all get lots out of it from just listening to everyone else's too. Yeah, I think you get more out of it. The listening, you get even, a good bit more. And Coke says, I honestly don't get how licks are created at all. I have a back and forth problem with guitar licks too. When we're doing licks, and licks are important, and I use licks more as a basic little mini melody to springboard and to do other things with. So I rarely play a lick the same way 2 times in my own playing. So I understand what you're saying, that you honestly don't get how they're created at all. It's just little melodies that you can use in different places. Evan says, I agree, Chris. It's so neat to hear what everybody's ear gets out of the same group of notes. All right. Evan says, licks are created by stringing together notes in a way you like so much you do it again. All right. Okay, so and a lot of people are agreeing with Coke. It's a vague thing. It's hard to put your finger on what's a lick and what's a melody and what's a, all those kind of things. Dave said, I have to say nice, he's sitting right next to me. Okay, awesome. It's good that you guys are hanging out. Evan said, I prefer to improv than have set licks I play. And okay, great. Well, good one, man. Very cool. Let's keep moving forward here. And there's a video by Josh. I haven't heard this. Is there a lick in, by Chris? Let me see. Let's just play a little bit of this. I'm not sure.
Hi everyone, it's just Chris. I'm just going to have a run through the Lick Builder Challenge that we talked about in this week's podcast, which should be out tomorrow. We had a get together on Saturday night. Some of the people from the group who usually get together, and we'll talk about doing a Lick Builder Challenge, which you'll find out about when you listen to the podcast. And it was essentially using a group of note clusters to create something.
Okay, so Chris, are you just explaining how to take part, or did you do a lick in that one as well? Let me know if there's a lick that we should play from that one too, and I'll go and I'll find it. Let's see here. See if there's any more down here. Those were just my licks, Lee. Okay, from the. Let's see here.
Yeah, so I'm starting there.
Okay, those are from the ones that we put on the podcast before. Okay, thanks, Chris. Thanks for letting me know that. And I'm just going to check, make sure we don't have any other ones. I think that may be it. Lots of posts, man. This is really, everything's going really good. Just the ones in podcasts. Okay, great. Well, there they are, man. Really cool stuff. Thank you guys for taking part in that. I had fun doing the live podcast on Monday, and coming up with those too. That was a good time. Okay, so that will wrap up that part here. Checking a notification real quick. Okay, and what we'll do now is we'll do some chat as well, and we're going to talk about the week ahead. How's everyone's week looking this week? Is everybody back to work, going into work? Are people still working at home? Or do you have the week off? I had some time off of my other thing, and I'm back to it now. So I'm back on a schedule. And let's see here. Joe says, love today's meetup. Awesome. And Josh said it was fun. Coke maybe onto something with the Riff challenge. That'd be fun too. Yeah. I was thinking about doing these maybe more frequently. Maybe once a month, I think would be fun. At first, and if it gets better, we could just come up with some more ideas. Okay. Let's see. Josh says he's going back to work June 1st. So going to try and take it easy this week. Yeah, man. You do that. You take it easy. Hang out with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Joe's been working the whole time. Evan's still at home, off tomorrow, but working from home for the rest of the week. That's good. Chris is back to work from home Wednesday, so a longer weekend for me, and been rocking the Les Paul a little. And David says most things opening up around here. Gym opens tomorrow. Yeah, everything's you know things are opening up when you drive past the Cracker Barrel and they say, "Come on in." The water's fine. Coke says fortnightly challenges. Yeah, that'll be fun. I need to see Oh Brother, Where Art Thou again. I think we need to watch that again. What do you think?
What?
Little Oh Brother, Where Art Thou pretty soon.
Yeah,
It's been a while. Yeah.
That's a classic.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so everybody's working or coming back to work after some time off. So we've got some scheduling to do. Make sure it's a lot of this progress that we've been doing with practice doesn't go to waste. Keep on it. So Coke says every 2 weeks. I was just using terms familiar to the comedy. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so next week we're going to continue what we talked about yesterday, or the day before yesterday, which is guitar frustrations. And I wrote down the three main. Let's see. We had what we talked about was frustrations in tone, frustrations being able to communicate with others in a music situation. We talked a lot about playing out, getting frustrated about playing out. We're talking about, and then physical limitations, frustrating when you physically are challenged to play. We're talking about arthritis a good bit too. And I like those. So I think what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is kind of set an outline for those and explore each of those a little bit more, I think. So yeah, that's what's going on for me. That's what I'm going to have for Monday. We're going to talk about that. I'm really interested in the getting in deeper with the arthritis in guitar. If what the best practices are for that. So we've got a lot of pip hips, Cheerios, Jolly Good. David says I need some Dapper Dan. That's right. Dapper Dan man. David's a Dapper Dan man. Okay. So what do you think about that? What do you think about tone frustrations communication frustrations, playing out, and physical limitations. And so I'm going to pick 3 of those. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm going to pick 3 and then really dive deep into those 3, and we'll see. Evan says you're a dapper Dan man, David. Coke says pomade is serious business. I cannot make that stuff work. Man, I need to see that. That movie. It's been a long time. It's been a while. I used to have it on DVD. Maybe I still do in the storage somewhere. I think I'll find it. Find it online somewhere. Okay, guys. Well, that's about where I'm at right now. I'm just going to check the chat a little bit. We might end early a little bit today. I do have a kind of a hard cutoff at 5. So, but we can end a little early if that's everything for today. Josh says, I think it sounds good and can help people out a lot. Good. And Evan says, those seem to be the 3 that will help the most people. Okay, very good. And Chris talking about Mick Mars has been dealing with these kind of physical issues. He has a very rare disease. He says, I wonder how Mick Mars manages. He has a form of arthritis or an arthritic condition. Yeah, to the point where he has a hard time standing up too. I'm going to look into that tomorrow. Let's see here. Coke says, last time I watched it, it was for a Greek epics course in college, drawing all the parallels to the Odyssey. Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that it was a comedy, but it was based, it had a structure to it. It was a neat movie. It's a really neat movie. And I was playing, when that movie came out, I was on the road a lot playing, and the drummer that I played with at the time would just randomly jump in, boys, the water's fine. He would just randomly hit quotes from the movie there. So I always associate that time with that movie. And Josh says steroid shots maybe for Mick Mars. And Cook says Homer's epics are all amazing. Yeah, they're epic. They're definitely very cool. It's been a long time since I've read the classics like that. My daughter's getting close in her reading level to getting up to some of those things. So maybe I'll get to go back through a lot of those things I enjoyed reading. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it today. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Thank you for the submissions for the Lick Building Challenge. Thanks, Chris, for the idea. And it was fun. It was fun. It made my week really fun. I enjoyed going through those and listening to what everybody, and it worked out too. It didn't just sound like everyone's playing the same lick. Everyone played something a little bit different. And it was great hearing what people come up with, you know. You talk about like Brennan's, you know, and then on the other side, like David's, you know, with like 2 completely different approaches to it. And David's doing more of the pull-off tapping style, and Brennan's was like a clean lead type thing. So really, really fun. Really, really fun. Let's see. Coke says, have you ever read the Odyssey? Oh, Brothers, right. And then another good weekend all. Good hanging out. The Cyclops assignment. Yeah, it is. It is. And David says, I've been forgiven for all my sins, even that Piggly Wiggly job. Awesome. Awesome. Well, it was great hanging out with you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have the live podcast at 4 my time, 4 Eastern. And we're going to have a deal with those frustrations and try and help as many people out as possible this week. Okay? All right. I look forward. Hope you guys can hang out with me tomorrow. And thanks everybody. Thanks Josh and Joe and Dean, and Evan, David, and Coke, Chris. Let's see here. There was a couple. Mike was here for a little bit. Dean, I think I said Dean. And there were some folks in the beginning too. There. But anyway, thanks everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.